Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Open. Our last guest is a Dominican reggaeton artist, a musician, actor, and Bronx native who is working out life as seen in his self-published book through also acting, writing, singing, fitness, and more. Known professionally as AR, he strives to thrive, aiming to be a good person to all and to serve others. We love that. And here to share more, we welcome musician and actor Adrian Read, also known as AR. Hello and welcome.
Marina, thank you so much for having me. It's a joy to be here.
Yeah, it is a joy. It's a joy to be in the presence of fabulosity.
Oh, thank you.
Look at you rocking your Bronx native.
Yes.
Dominoes.
Shout out to a Maori Bronx native. Literally, this is my favorite sweater, and I've worn it literally all winter.
And the domino?
Yeah, well,
does it represent anything?
Well, the
for
back
you?
says lucky number 7, so yeah.
Ah, very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, rocking the proud Bronx native. Now, let's talk about your trajectory, right? Because I mean, you're going to perform for us later.
Yes, I am.
And your style is it's like a fusion of alternative rock. I don't know. I mean, that's my interpretation.
No, yes.
But I'm going to assume you have an eclectic repertoire.
It's a mix, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's this book that you write. I know you're heavy into fitness. And then, of course, the acting. So I had so much fun doing research on you yesterday because I was entertained.
You probably saw quite a bit.
What? But first let's start with the whole Spartan because that one blew me away. How many Spartan races or competitions, I should say, have you done?
So I've completed every set of Spartan race. So there's a Spartan Sprint, which is 5K. There's a Spartan Super, which is 10K. There's a Spartan Beast, which is 21K. And there's a Spartan Ultra, which is 50K. 50K, for those who don't know, is 33 miles. And then they also come with a set of obstacles. That one in particular was 65 obstacles.
Wow. Okay. I ran the New York City Marathon back in 2014, and that was enough for me. Okay. So what is it about the Spartan and that challenge that you are really upping the game every time you enter, I guess, one of these competitions? Because 50K.
Yeah. So I guess it all stems from when I was a kid, I got into training. I got into working out. I used to get bullied when I was a kid. And so I joined the gym and I started working out, and the bullying stopped. So that was good, and I always had an affinity for training and for just physical development.
So just backtrack really quick, because I love when we get into the topic of bullying, because bullying is something that unfortunately is still present in our society. But I do love when it becomes the catalyst,
A source of strength.
right?
Yes.
The motivator to figure out a way to come out of that situation. So I just wanted to just recap on the fact that that was your motivation to then develop your body.
Yes. Honestly, I used to get bullied around the block. I used to get bullied in school. And I used to watch cartoons of characters that would train and they would get stronger. And I literally mirrored what they were doing. And I decided that, I want to be strong. I want this to stop. And I started first training in my own room. And then I joined the gym, and as I developed my physique and the bullies saw me, they were like, oh, wait a minute. If we get in there, we might get hurt this time. So it worked. It was a source of strength, and it stuck with me all throughout.
And it also builds your confidence.
Yes.
And it also demonstrates your own self-worth.
Yes.
Right? Because just doing these competitions, the Spartan, when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, how many medals do you have?
I have about 10 medals.
10 medals, okay? This is no joke, okay? I know, because I ran one marathon, and I said, oh my gosh, and this is what I tell everybody, if you want to know what you're made of, run a marathon. So I can imagine doing a Spartan race in which you are now also up against obstacles, and you said that they vary.
Oh, yes. So basically, the reason I did the Spartan race is because I've been training ever since I was a kid. So I started training when I was 9. I'm 35 now. I've been training ever since. And the Spartan races were a way for me to really realize what I was made of, to know what all the training that I've done throughout my life, if I could do it or not. And they serve as that, as like something that you can do to realize where you're at in your fitness journey. And so the one that I did recently, the Spartan Ultra, was 33 miles, 65 obstacles. It took me 12 hours to complete.
Oh my God, 65 obstacles?
Yeah. And the obstacles are pretty much rope climbing, climbing over 10-foot walls. You have to cross a lake. there's a lot of things that pretty much, unless you're actually well trained, you're probably not going to get through them.
Wow.
But I wanted to do it. I wanted to know where I was.
And the reason I keep bringing this up is because it's not just about the race, it's about completion.
Yes.
So you've disciplined yourself in the art of completion,
Yes.
which I think everybody needs to understand the value of
So
completion.
necessary. Yes.
Right? And so because you're disciplined in the art of completion, despite the obstacles, right?
Yes.
Or the 65, I might say. Ay, Dios mío,
Gracias,
65.
gracias.
Ay, Dios mío. Just the thought of it.
Gracias.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Oh my gosh. However, it's a mind over matter, right?
Yes.
And is also the what you really come out winning, even within yourself, knowing that you completed the task. So now that behavior is now carried into whatever other task.
Yes, yes. I love that. I love that fact that you identified that one thing can translate into another one. Because the book that I wrote, Working Out Life, is literally that.
Oh, you have it with you,
yes,
don't you?
I actually have for you my very last physical copy.
Really?
And as you can see, it's a little worn because I've actually read it a bunch of times. And I want you to have it.
You want me to have it?
I want you to have
you
it, yes.
sure?
I'm
oh
sure.
my
You can
gosh.
see that it's worn. I've read it a bunch of times because
love this.
I wrote this book, but there's some principles in the book that anybody can abide by, even me. I still try to uphold them. And it's a practice. It's not something that we're going to be perfect at, but we
Right.
can start trying to implement them every day. And it's a practice. Every single day I have to wake up and remind myself what I want to stand for and what it is I want to say and what I want to bring to the world. And so I read it often. I've read it a lot of times.
And you're
So
giving me,
it's for
it
you,
to me.
yes.
Well, I just noticed that one chapter is listed as building, another one is listed as recovery,
Yes.
another one is listed as flexibility, which is
Yes.
how I'm living right now.
flexible. Oh, we have to be. We have to be adaptable. Yeah.
Like water, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Me and the water. The water is like my guide. I'm like, yes, mother, tell me how to move because, see, no.
Well, Bruce Lee had a quote that he said, be like water.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
have
because of
that book.
We
Uh-huh.
have to be able to adapt.
Yes.
Especially now, something that was a recurring theme in the previous conversations was today's climate. And I do
Yes.
want to talk about that because a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are having a hard time, and we all feel it. And something that I realized at some point is that different people have different capacities to withstand pain and suffering. And I want to use a movie actually as an analogy, as into like what we can do, the people that can withstand and uplift others. There's Spider-Man. And in Spider-Man, Peter Parker touches on this amazing power. And right before his uncle passes away, he tells him with great power comes great responsibility. And he could have decided to just do whatever he wants. I'm just going to go to bars and drink and whatever. But what Uncle Ben meant by that was if you have a great power as a person, you have to use it to uplift others and to help. And in today's society, there are people that are doing amazing things that can uplift others that are suffering more than the average person. And you have to know if you're one of those people. And that's your superpower, the thing that you do. And you have to be able to use that, because if you don't use that, then the world goes into array.
Yeah, well said, because at the end of the day, we're discussing your various talents and the different forms in which you've chosen to contribute. But really, we must approach everything that we do being of service.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I believe one of my biggest sayings is we're here to serve other people, only because you can only serve yourself so much. You can have all the money in the world and all the riches, and there's a cap onto the amount of pleasure that you can take on, but what you can do for other people, that's unlimited. Like what you guys do here, what Teresa does, what Margot does, that can reach so many other people, and that's how you change the world. So being of service to others, and then your life actually starts changing according to that. So I'm a big believer in helping people as much as you can.
Beautiful. And of course, there's being in community and choosing the right community,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. That's another one. Cuidado.
Because, we are reflections of each other,
Yes, yes,
right?
absolutely.
And so I love the conversations that we've had this entire morning, because it is so important for us to really understand the value of what we are and who we are to each other.
Yes. We need each other.
Yes.
We're the greatest resource that we have. And living here in New York, sometimes it's hard to see that, because here there's a grind culture. It's just go, go, go. Just
Right.
focus on yourself.
Yes.
And we forget that we need each other to do things. Like there's an amazing team behind the scenes that is making this happen.
Right.
And without this team, this wouldn't happen. So
Right.
we need each other more than we think. So I'm a big proponent in
Yes.
making sure that we value each other and we treat each other as the people that need each other.
I appreciate you acknowledging our crew. And, you know,
I do.
no, it's because you're right. I always tell people, like, people don't realize it takes a good 10 to
Yeah.
20 people to put
Absolutely.
one episode on. And then with my crew, the conversations we have is just like whatever energy they bring into the space is what I'm going to give to the viewers.
Yes.
Because what they feed me is what I'm able to share with you guys.
Absolutely.
And so, yes, thank
I
you
love
for
that.
acknowledging them. Yes.
No, I do,
yes.
I have to.
Yes. And then, okay, but before we go, because you're going to be performing
Mm-hmm.
for us, we didn't really talk much about your music career, but you're going to be presenting it, and we're going to also
Yes.
share that you have a new release that
Yeah.
is now available. However, I want to talk about everything that we've just discussed in music form now,
Perfect.
because that is your other modality of healing.
So let's talk about music. When I was a kid, I was very to myself. My parents divorced when I was 9, and I found music when I went to high school. And music was my way of connecting with people. Because even though I wasn't very social as a kid, music I was able to connect with people. I would play music, and they were like, "Oh wow, you're a guitarist," and so that was my way of connecting. And fast forward now, as an adult, I still use it as a way to connect with people. And most recently, I started a project on the topic of completion. I started a project 2 years ago, which was this reggaeton project. I was never a reggaeton artist. I was always a guitarist, but I wanted to do this, and so I started this project. And midway through the project, I had done 5 songs. I had to take a break because sometimes you need to take a break, and but I knew that I wanted to complete it. And so sometimes you do have to take a break, but you have to tell yourself, I have a mission, and I have to get this mission completed. And so just recently, on December 20th, which is actually my birthday, I managed to complete the album.
Of
and release it.
2024?
Yes.
High five. Wow, nice.
Ya tú sabes. And I released.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And this song I mean, this album, it means a lot to me because I've always wanted to do something like this musically, where it was like the epitome of what I'm capable of, and it incorporates all the elements that I love. I love guitar, I love rock, as you know. I love Latin music. So I have a lot of these flavors in there. There's a little bit bachata, there's a little bit, there's a
Yeah,
little
you're
bit of
bringing
everything.
your culture into it,
Yes.
pero hay un fusion.
You have to, de todo. Un sancocho.
Un sancocho. Me encanta eso. I could afford one right now. After we're done with this, I'm going to be doing a sancocho, but we're going to be tasting
Perfecto.
your sancocho vocally, right?
I got you.
The Spartan Master. Oh my gosh, Adrian. We can go on and on, pero ya, you know, it's time for you
we
to
can talk-
perform.
we can
You
talk
ready?
forever.
You ready?
Perfecto,
All
vámonos.
right. All right. I hope you guys are ready because Adrian's going to perform for us when we return, and you don't want to miss. Nice. Hola, mi gente. Welcome back here now to perform Suéltame. Let's give it up for Adrian Read.
Gracias. Thank you, Rena.
Tú a mí me dices que me quieres ver, después me dices que no quieres saber de mí. Tú a mí me dices que te dé placer, después me dices que no puede ser. Yeah, y este huequito no lo aguanto, baby. Me tiene la cabeza dando vueltas y yo te di más de lo que tú mereces y me fallaste ni sé cuántas veces. Suéltame, suéltame, que ya no quiero. Suéltame, suéltame, que ya no puedo. Suéltame, suéltame, que ya no quiero. Suéltame, suéltame, que ya no puedo. Ya yo me cansé. Suéltame, ya yo me cansé. Déjame, ya yo me cansé. Suéltame, ya yo me cansé. Déjame, ya yo me cansé de tu mal querer. Ya yo me cansé y no te quiero. Ya yo me cansé de tanto joder. Ya yo me cansé y no te quiero ver. Te relajo se acabó. acabó conmigo. Quizá con otra te tira mejor. Ey, y otro pendejo que te dé su amor. Y otro pendejo que te dé calor. Nah, tú no mereces ni mi tiempo, mucho menos mis sentimientos. No te quiero ver por aquí. Fue de en balde lo que sufrí. Suéltame, suéltame, que ya no quiero. Suéltame, suéltame, que ya no puedo. Suéltame, suéltame, que ya no quiero. Suéltame, suéltame, que ya no puedo. Escúchame. Ya yo me cansé, suéltame, ya yo me cansé. Déjame, ya yo me cansé. Suéltame, ya yo me cansé. Déjame, ya yo me cansé. De tu mal querer, ya yo me cansé. Y no te quiero, ya yo me cansé. Ya yo me cansé. Ya yo me cansé, suéltame, ya yo me cansé. Déjame, ya yo me cansé. Suéltame, ya yo me cansé. Déjame, ya yo me cansé. Suéltame, ya yo me cansé. Déjame, ya yo me cansé. Suéltame, ya yo me cansé. Gracias. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Gracias, gracias. Thank you, Rena.
Oh my
Thank
gosh,
you, everybody.
that's gonna be my theme song. Suéltame, ya yo me cansé. Suéltame, ya yo me cansé. Suéltame. Woo! Everybody, Adrian Read. Bravo, bravo. All right, so once again, Adrian Read's first full-length reggaeton album is titled Cartas para ti, and it is available on all streaming platforms under his initials, AR. And for more on Adrian, you can check him out on Instagram at adrian.read. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through, and to your viewers for tuning in. Cántame ahí, ponme un poquito de algo. That's right. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out this episode throughout the weekend, 24 hours a day, at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rena Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Dale, Adrian, dale, dale, dale.